All right, we are here with Sky was the limit. So
Howdy.
hi, Sky. How did you come in to start streaming on Twitch?
Uh, I figured that would be a question that you'd ask. But it was really simple. I was playing games with a friend. This is before I even knew what Twitch was. Like I was aware of it, but I had never spent any time on it. And she was an old friend, and we hadn't hung out in a while, and we were playing Overwatch. And the whole time we were playing Overwatch, she was on open mic, and she was talking, and I could hear her talking and interacting with all these people. And within a few minutes, I was like, okay, who the heck are you talking to? Like who's on the other end? Like who are you having a conversation with? She's like, oh, sorry, I failed to mention that I'm streaming on Twitch right now. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good to know because you're live, and I didn't even know that. um and then we just kind of played games together that day, and I like listened to her interacting, and it sounded like she was having a really good time. And so I asked her some more questions about like Twitch and how she got started with it. And she was like, oh yeah, I've been doing it for about a year, and I have a good community and all this stuff. And then she's like, you should try it. Like, I think you'd enjoy it. You're fairly social. You got a good personality. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll give it a try. And I didn't. I didn't try for like 6 months. I was like, nah, not interested. And then I got a PS4, and that was like really cool for me because I was like, oh, cool, next gen console. And it had native streaming on it, so you could stream directly from your PS4 to Twitch. So finally, I took the plunge and I set up a Twitch account. And from there, I was playing Bloodborne, I think it was at the time, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this streaming thing. So I had no microphone, I had no camera, I had nothing like that. I just fired up a stream, and I was like, okay, I'm live on Twitch right now, and I was just me playing Bloodborne. I didn't have any viewers or anything. I was just streaming, and it lasted for about 15 minutes, and I was like, all right, I did my first stream, and then I didn't stream again for like 6 months. I was like, okay, that's good, I'm a streamer now. And then 6 months later, I got into Dark Souls 3. That was the next game that's kind of what started me off on Twitch, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Dark Souls, and I'm gonna try this streaming thing again. So I did the same thing. No camera, no microphone. I just fired up my stream on the native PS4. I was streaming on Wi-Fi. It was an awful experience. My stream dropped out every like 2 minutes. Like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I had no Discord. I had no Twitter. I had no sense of what Twitch was or building a community. And I just would fire up my stream, and I would play Dark Souls 3 to nobody for hours on end. And it took a long time before I really had anybody drop into chat at all, because who wants to sit there in a dead air stream with nobody chatting and no video? So I started doing a lot of PvP streams with Dark Souls 3. So I just streamed me PvPing with people. And then I had a couple regulars that started coming by and just watching and hanging out and typing in chat, even though I didn't interact with them. And then eventually they're like, dude, why don't you like use a microphone? It would be so much easier to like interact with you and talk. And I was like, oh man, like I'm so nervous. I'm so shy. Like, I don't think I could like chat and like talk. And then I had this like little crappy earpiece that I like plugged in with like a built-in microphone on it that like clipped to your sweater. So I started using that, and that's kind of where it began for me, really. That was like 6 or so months after creating my Twitch account that I actually started being like, okay, I'm going to stream with a microphone. And it took me another 6 months to add a camera. So my first year of streaming, I don't even count it, because it wasn't being taken seriously in any way whatsoever. But then, yeah,
Yeah,
so I've been streaming for 3.5 years, but the first year was not a serious attempt at streaming at all.
first year you just look away from, but it's still how you got into it and um how you evolved from not knowing about what streaming was or how it came to be, and then you uh, end up with uh, face cam and microphone, and
Yeah.
now you got a pretty professional setup.
Yeah, I got way more into it. I definitely like the more I did it, the more I realized that like I really enjoyed just interacting and meeting people and finding people to play games with. So I kind of got hooked, I guess.
So we are in the start of 2021. So you started in 2017, 2018?
I think it was 2017 actually.
Yeah.
I think June is kind of where I call my 1 year anniversary. but I remember creating my account in February of 2017.
Yeah.
So between February and June, I didn't really stream a whole lot. Took a while to get into it.
So like, would people come into your chat and be like, "Hey, do you have a mic?" Or would you type them in chat? Or
I did. I started typing originally, and then that's when they convinced me that it would be a lot easier if I just used a microphone. And I was like, "Yeah, you guys are right. I think I should do that." And
yeah,
I had one guy from France that would come in, who I haven't seen in Lord knows how long. And then I had another fella who was down in the U.S. I think he was my my very first viewer, and he used to just hang out and like cheer me on when I was fighting bosses in Dark Souls and try and give me advice. And I would like have to stop every 2 seconds and like type to him. I had my mobile phone like on my desk, so I'd have to like pick up my phone and type to him and like put it back down and go back to gaming.
yeah, I don't know if I would be able to uh actually be typing while streaming, because you have to stop what you're doing, then type something in chat, and then go back to what you're doing, and they won't see that at the same time as you're stopped, so they won't know like exactly like why are you stopping, what are you doing, and
Yeah,
then they see something in chat and okay,
it's not practical whatsoever.
no,
But I actually do follow a streamer, and she streams poker, and she's a mute. She doesn't speak.
yeah,
So, and she types while she's playing poker, and she's super fast. Like she responds to like every message.
oh yeah,
So just because you can't speak doesn't mean it's not a viable way, that it's not viable to stream and interact still. So it can still work for somebody who either might be shy or can't speak at all.
yeah. I think a lot of people that some people might say have disability, they actually have a superpower in other ways. Like
Yeah.
mutes learn to maybe text faster because they do it more often, or they do it more frequently, or
Yeah.
other stuff like that that we
Your
don't
senses
really.
kind of they compensate for one another.
Yeah. So did you actually know what Twitch was when you when you heard about it? Had you been on Twitch
Well,
before?
I knew, I was aware of it. I had a few friends that watched Twitch before I had ever really figured out what it was, and I knew it was a gaming oriented site. But it took me like a lot of figuring out like, okay, what is Twitch all about? What is the sense of community on Twitch? Why do people stream? And I discovered some bigger streamers because like it gives you the recommended feed on the left side of your thing, and it was like you should watch this person based on your interests. So I started checking out some larger streamers first, and that was kind of like my first impression of Twitch, I guess, was like, holy shit, this guy's got 20,000 people watching him play H1Z1. And this was Dr. Disrespect back in the day, was one of the first streamers that I ever watched. And then Lyric was another one. I'm not sure if you know Lyric or not, but he's
Yeah.
he's kind of like a minimalist streamer, but his commentary is super on point. And he's kind of a huge variety streamer, and he's kind of somebody that I actually look up to as a streamer. I like Dr. Disrespect for his production value. Like he still made a huge impression on like what I wanted to do with streaming, in the sense of producing like a show.
Yeah.
And then Lyric was more about the comedy side of commentary on the fly during your gameplay. So I tried to look like looking back, I still kind of think of those two names as being people that kind of inspired me to like see how far I could improve my own stream. And doing it by myself, DIY, it was like, what can I achieve with like trying to combine comedy with production value? So that was where I first got my start. And then once I kind of got there, it was a matter of finding out like, okay, how can I find smaller communities and meet people that are kind of like, just getting started with streaming like me. So I kind of started to delve deeper. Eventually I got into Discord because of Twitch. I never had Discord beforehand. I used to use TeamSpeak and Mumble and stuff like that. Ventrilo back in the day for playing games with people, but I had never been on Discord. So when I got Discord, that's when I started to discover this is where streamers live and thrive. Like Twitter is, it's a cesspool, it's a dumpster fire, but Discord is kind of where people make connections. So I met like a lot of people just through like joining their personal Discords, or there was a couple, like I tried a lot of different communities to see what felt right for me. And I joined one community when I first hit affiliate, because it took me like I said, I didn't take streaming that seriously, so it took me almost 9 or so months to get affiliate, because I had no idea what I was doing. I had no professionalism, and I was streaming from my PS4. So it took a long time just for me to get affiliate, because of how much learning there was for me to do. It was a big internet learning curve for me. So once I established affiliate on my own, I was like, cool. Now I can monetize my channel. Now I can try to create a brand. And I started seeking out like communities. And I went through a few different communities until I found one that was right, which was called Wolfam back in the day. And it was actually like, it wasn't a personal Discord, but it was a community Discord, which was cool. And I met a lot of people. I established my network just focusing on that one community and meeting people through that. And then from there, it was like just a matter of trying to like maintain friends and meet new friends along the way. But even to this day, everyone that I met in that community is still kind of part of my home network of people that I know on Twitch. So I met some like lifelong Twitch friends through that community, and that was like a great experience for me. Later down the road, not that much later, I actually met Euclidean Mind through Wolfam. He was in that Discord as well. It was run by there were a couple streamer there, a guy and a girl, husband and wife, and they were a duo streamers. So they had both of them on camera at the same time, and they had a split screen, and they played games together. And I thought that was a really awesome concept for a channel. And they ran the Discord, and I used to watch their streams because they were cool people. And then I met Euclidean Mind in that Discord, who I watched a ton. I've been following Euclidean for almost 3 years, I think, now at this point. But then eventually I joined the Dark Forest as well, which was kind of an ambassador. He was an ambassador for that community because he created it. So those two communities together were kind of my where I started to meet like a lot of people, because there was a lot of people in Dark Forest who I didn't know from Wolfam, and I still like kept a lot of friends in Wolfam. And eventually I became a moderator in Wolfam and helped out with that kind of stuff. As well as I think I'm now considered like a founding member of Dark Forest, even though I wasn't there for like the initial starting of it, but I've just been around and there for so long and known the guys that it's just kind of it's nice to like, even this far into the journey of streaming, to still know all these people and see where they're at with things.
Yeah, like it does count to be there from the growth. Like you're remembered as being around and being part of the community all the time. And do you see like I see a lot of people go into streaming and then they kind of drop off, or there are people that you meet when you start streaming and then they kind of drop off. Are there people like you wish would maybe continue streaming that you've seen?
I know a lot of people who've just, life has kind of thrown a wrench in the gears, or they've had family, or they just decided streaming wasn't really for them. And sometimes people just drop off after streaming. Like, you don't hear from them. They delete their social media. They just disappear, and it sucks because you're friends with these people for however long, and then all of a sudden they're just gone. But at the same time, it's hard to say like maybe it was better for them to stop. Maybe it was like they weren't feeling like it was something that was right for them. So
I mean,
I
of course, real life goes before streaming.
always. And making your family a priority is a huge thing too. So a lot of time, I can't imagine like, because I live on my own. I have no pets. I have no real responsibility other than I work full time. I work 40 hours a week. So I can't imagine trying to like stream while like going to school and having a family and holding down a job. Like, I don't know how these people do it. I don't know what their energy levels are like, because I struggle to keep up with like 4 nights a week of streaming as well as working. Like, it's tasking for sure.
Yeah, so with your full-time job, do you keep like a strict schedule for yourself, or do you kind of stream when you feel up to it?
That's a good question. I'm more lately, just, I don't know, with my job, it is pretty tough to like maintain a good schedule. But I do my best to try and start around the same time on work nights. Like I'll start at 7 p.m. and I'll go until I can. And on my weekends, I just stream when I feel like it. Like today and tomorrow, I'm off, so I'm gonna stream as soon as I, feel like I'm ready to go. So I was for a bit there this last year. I was trying to maintain a schedule and post it on my Discord and stick to it. But it almost became like I guess maybe I am defiant of myself because anytime I have to stick to a schedule or do something that's routined, I almost feel like oh, I don't want to do this. Like it's not as interesting to me when I have to like force myself to go on camera. I'd rather just be like, yo, I feel like gaming and hanging out with people tonight, so I'm gonna hit that live button. And when it happens, it happens. And my community is really chill, and a lot of them are they're around anyways. So when I do feel like streaming, they're there, and when I need the time off, they understand. So I don't feel too pressured when I don't make a schedule. Although I know from a standpoint of success, a lot of people preach like, "Oh, you need to make a schedule and you have to stick to it," and that's how you succeed at streaming. But I think succeeding at streaming isn't necessarily the be all end all for me. It's more just about this is what I do to relax and have fun. So if I try to force myself to do it and stick to a schedule, it feels more like a job, and I just would rather enjoy my time on camera and be able to make people have a good laugh or a smile and forget about their days without having to feel like it's a forced thing. It's like I do this because I want to do it, not because I'm forcing myself to make a career out of it in any way. Like I want people to come to my channel and feel those vibes. I want them to feel like, hey, oh shit, Sky's live. I'm gonna go, hang out and see what he's up to. And I want those good vibes to be there whenever I do stream, so that people don't see that because people see really easily what kind of energy you're putting into your stream. They're gonna know, hey, this guy's like, he's in it for the numbers, or he's in it for the money, or he's in it for whatever reason. They can tell. They can just sense like what kind of vibe you put out there on the internet. Like people aren't daft. They're gonna leave in 5 minutes if like you don't seem like you're having a good time. So
Yeah,
as soon as I
definitely.
hit the live button, my intention from the starting screen to the ending screen is have a good time, and whatever happens happens.
Yeah, so like if you would you see streaming to be like a possibility as a full-time job down the line? Or is that like a pipe dream kind of thing?
It's hard to say because it is very very difficult, and such a small amount of people actually can successfully pull off streaming as a career and pay their bills. And
Yeah.
I don't really think from a monetary standpoint it's really in the books for me. That's a very difficult thing to pull off. It would be really cool though, in the same regard. Like it would be like, oh cool, I wake up today, have my coffee, have my breakfast, fire up stream, and away we go. But I also think that I personally don't like the idea of making a living from other people, because I don't know. I know that
Yeah.
like financially, like you have to make X amount of money each month in order to like provide for yourself. So for me, even just living alone, like that is a substantial amount of money that people would have to contribute to my stream in order to just keep me going and not having to like work a regular job or even a part-time job or a full-time job. So I think there's like a sense of guilt that holds me back from like trying to pursue it full time, because I just don't like the idea of, I don't know. I guess I don't want to word this in a way that offends anybody, but I don't want to be a charity case. I don't want to have to like, I don't want to have to turn my stream into something that is like a desperate thing. Like I need to pay my bills this month, guys. Here, we're going to play some fucking Hunt Showdown for 24 hours. Like I don't want it to come to that. It's a fun thing. So,
Yeah,
and
I
as soon as you
definitely
turn it into a
understand that.
job,
Um
it's hard to like have as much fun because you're relying on it for income.
yeah, definitely. And I think kind of when I picture um the streamer thing, I see us streamers as more of um the buskers in the street that kind of play their guitar, and they will play for you happily for free. But
But
maybe if they do something cool, you might throw a penny in or something like that. And if
If they
enough,
really catch your attention, right?
yeah, if enough people come by and they like your show, maybe you have a crowd around you and they're cheering you on, and it's super fun, and people are maybe sharing some leftover money. It's kind of like that, I feel.
Yeah, I
Except
guess
we don't go out of our houses and play guitar. Maybe some streamers do.
yeah, I could just hang out at home in my pajamas and you know
Yeah,
still be able to be. It's one of the few like jobs you could have, I guess, where you entertain people, but from the waist down, I could be wearing no pants at all, and so
waist
there's very
down
few
doesn't
jobs where
matter.
you don't have to wear pants and you can still like enjoy yourself,
Yeah, it's not a news anchor.
and make a living. But like I said, there the viability of being a successful streamer as a job is very, very difficult. I think this year, especially with COVID and everything, there's more streamers than ever. Um, Everybody's at home, or not everybody, but a lot of people are at home in the same regard too. So viewership on Twitch is great this year. It has been really good. Um, uh, but a lot of people like this year is different, and not everybody has as much money as they might the next year, especially if they're not working. So less people are able to just throw that penny at the busker, right? They
Yeah,
can't toss a coin to their Twitcher as readily because maybe they're at home circumstantially because their business is closed down, or they can't work, or you know example A, example B. So as long as as long as you are having fun on Twitch, I think that really is like the bottom line. Because as a career, it's very,
yeah,
very, very, very difficult, especially with the saturation of it right now. Like I said, there's a ton of streamers. There's so many people streaming.
yeah, definitely. And um, as you said too, like it's economy is really hard, and I don't think people should feel obliged to drop money on any streamers. Um, but I
No, you
feel
shouldn't.
it's like um, if you feel like you have the money to spend and you feel like they deserve it, then maybe.
Yeah,
But that's a choice that the viewer themselves should have to make, and it shouldn't be up to anyone else.
yeah. I've seen the clips of the
Yeah,
people shaming others for not contributing financially to their stream,
we've all seen
or
those clips, I think.
yeah. I think that's circulated pretty quickly. And I think that is like 100% the wrong attitude.
Yeah,
I think I think you should be grateful for anybody that supports you in any way, even if they can't financially contribute. You should be super thankful to have somebody who's lurking or chatting, because their time is the most valuable thing they can offer you. And if they choose to support your stream in a monetary way, then you know praise them, because those are like the people that want to support you and see you see you go somewhere. So maybe everybody just needs to be grateful for each other, and just the sense of community is, I think, more fulfilling than any penny that you throw in my guitar case could ever bring. So
yeah. I feel like the big part of Twitch and streaming is the friendship that you make with the stream, and you have the chat, and it's a really huge, awesome community, and the monetary value is not really what should be chased. It's more of the friendships that you make along the way.
hmm yeah, in my experience, I played a lot of multiplayer games as well as single player games. I do a lot of single player games because it's just really nice to be able to lay back and chill after a day and hang out with chat and just say goofy shit. But I like to play multiplayer games too. I'm somewhat of like a variety streamer in that sense. But one game I play in particular is Hunt Showdown, which is kind of it's like a Wild West cowboy game with zombies. I'll just keep it that simple. But particularly in that game, streaming that a lot, I created a network of friends that I have to play that game with. Just by streaming it, I met so many people who I now can just, you know, uh, at my fingertips, I'm just like, hey, want to jump in and play some games? And it's just that simple. Like, sure, I'm in your Discord. Like, let's go. And
Yeah,
that's a huge for me, that has so much value to it because I've met some really awesome friends to play at any time with, and especially like going back to the COVID thing, being cooped up a lot of the time. I'm up here in Canada, but we're still just as cautious as everywhere else in the world. And so it's nice that I can, come home from work, and even though I'm stuck in my apartment, it's like, boom, I'm hanging out with somebody within a few minutes and playing games. So I really appreciate that. I've met a lot of people who are into the same games as me, because I don't know if how I would have ever met these people if it weren't for Twitch.
Yeah, definitely. So, you do stream a lot when you're not working, but do you do any other content creation on the side of that?
Mm, because yeah, I would like to. I would love to do some more like YouTube edits and stuff like that. But I do some drum cover stuff on my YouTube using my electric kit in here. I can't get away with drumming on my full drum set because it's so loud. But I've done some like music oriented content creation, which I would like to do more of. I think that's more something that I'm trying to broaden as far as content creation goes. But in terms of like where my community exists and what I put all my focus into, it is just mostly Twitch. And I might edit some highlight videos together here and there and post them for fun. But YouTube isn't something I'm really pursuing at all.
Yeah,
YouTube video editing takes a lot of time.
it does.
It
It
takes so
does.
much time, and I'm sacrificing sleep on occasion already. So, but I have a good friend, my moderator Eric Dragonheart, uh, has been in my channel for as long as I can remember, like at least over 3 years. And he's learning video editing. He's been working with Adobe Premiere, and I gave him editor access on my channel. I trust him like a lot. He's just like a great dude. I know him. He lives in Canada here as well. And so I offered, I was like, if you want to edit some of my videos, I'll post them on YouTube if you want some practice. So he took a couple of my streams and segmented them and cut them down and added some like funny edits to them. So, he helped me put out a bit of content that I normally wouldn't have time to do, which was great. But to get any sort of traction on those videos is very difficult. Even I don't really understand how to get attention on YouTube, and it's not something I want to put my efforts into, because
Yeah.
even with like high quality editing, it's like I might get 20 or 30 views on a video. So I don't really know how people do it. I don't know how they get any sort of attention on YouTube, because it's such a huge, like, I think, like, sure, there's a lot of streamers, but for every streamer there's at least 10 YouTubers making videos every day, and I don't know. I think it's, for me, it's either one or the other. You gotta pick or choose, because there's only so much time in a day, especially when you have to work or if you have a family or anything going on. So my best advice to anybody who's curious about, like, oh, how can I expand my network, is maybe don't expand your network, but focus it, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're doing a little bit all over the place when you could be doing a lot in one place and making a difference where it counts.
I mean, people say that there's more discoverability on YouTube, which is true in itself, because on the Twitch platform you will always see the ones with the highest viewers counts on top. So starting
Yeah,
off as a new streamer is really hard.
yeah, it's pretty rough. I think I'm glad I started when I did, but I kind of wish I started a bit earlier than I did with streaming. But at the same time, we all start our journey on Twitch somewhere. So,
Oh yeah.
but it is hard if you're a new streamer. It is hard. It's hard to get any sort of notice, and it will take time. You're gonna have to make friends. You're gonna have to spend a lot of time improving your stream and your audio quality, and you're going to want to make sure you stand out in some way or another, because that's really hard to do as well, because there's so many people doing amazing things already that trying to think of something that's going to set you apart from that is very difficult. And even if you do find something that'll set you apart from the others, like, how are you going to get people through the front door? And by the front door, I just mean, coming in and saying hey in your chat. So you just got to stick to it and find out what works for your channel. And if you just want to play Call of Duty, at the bottom of the category, and that's enough for you, that's fine. But if you want growth, it takes a lot of work.
definitely. So,
and time.
you started from a console, and now you are streaming from a PC, right?
Yeah, yeah. I started.
So, going from a console over to PC is kind of involved. So, how, like, did you have to learn a lot when going into streaming?
Yes, definitely spent hours and hours like researching stuff on Google and um, yeah, I think the time I've put into researching stuff is probably about half the time I've spent streaming. Like I have always been into computers and FPS gaming on computers. So that was fine. I already knew my way around a computer, but learning OBS, learning how to set up bots and alerts and um, trying to create a brand and I have worked with Photoshop for many years, so that came very handy in terms of like setting up my OBS and my stream. Um, but damn, like I can't tell you how many hours I've just sat there researching like the most minute problems that come up, like why does my camera go blurry when X happens, and like sifting through all these different like posts from people from like 20 years ago being
Yeah.
like, oh, this is the problem, but it's like trying to find like the relevancy of such a specific question to solve it and then eventually figure it out. And it's like, awesome, I'm so excited for the next stream now. I finally solved this one problem. And then, in doing so, you recognize that you have 10 other problems that you now have to apply the same ethic towards. So yeah, like I would say that it's definitely been a learning curve. And at this point, I'm now using a dual PC setup because over the last 4 years or so that I've been involved in streaming, I've upgraded, of course. So I started out on a computer that was okay. It was an i7 4790 with a GTX 1050, and I was playing PUBG at like lowest quality settings possible. And I had a stream. I could stream onto OBS, and I did that without a camera for a while. And then it was a matter of getting the camera and learning about lighting. And then it was learning about lighting that led me to, okay, I want to get a green screen now. And then it was learning how to get the green screen set up, and then oh man, it just goes on and on. It's a rabbit hole of learning when it comes to streaming. There's so many great what's the word, skills that you can teach yourself from streaming.
Oh yeah. And there's
Audio is a huge one.
oh yeah.
Audio is like, that's a big one. If you're into like audio production, I think that's more important than video production for
Yeah.
a stream. A lot of people just want to listen to a stream. They almost treat it like a podcast. They turn it on in the background while they're going about their day. So having good audio is another chore, and that is a tough one.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people come in and they say, "Oh yeah, I have a just stream in the background while I'm playing the same game." Maybe they just wanna listen to your talk, or maybe they wanna um, just listen while they do something, and they'll uh, hear excitement or something, and then they'll like check out what's going on.
Yeah,
Um, and a lot of people do that just to kind of blend out the outside kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
And
It can be a form of support for sure. Just
yeah,
like lurking is a huge thing on Twitch. A lot of people will even just throw up a tab and just say, hey, I'm lurking, can't really chat right now, but hope you have a good stream. And it's cool that that exists there. That there are people who just want to have a stream on in the background while they fall asleep or eat dinner or whatever. Because it's a quick entertainment fix. Like you can just see what your friends are up to. Couple clicks on your phone or open it up on your PC in the background. I do that all the time. I almost always have streams running during the day or at night. I fall asleep to streams a lot of the time. So yeah, I can recognize that people aren't always present in chat, but it doesn't mean they're not paying attention.
yeah. I mean, people are busy people, and if they come into my chat and they say like, "Hey, I'm lurking for a while," they're supporting your channel and being a huge support.
Yep,
So
they're actively choosing your channel.
yeah. So
Um, And that's nice. It's like, oh, cool. I'm like the one out of however many streamers there are Twitch that you choose to have on in the background. Like, awesome. Happy
Yeah,
gaming.
like there's got to be a million streamers now, so like
Yeah.
1 out of 1 million, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like how, like, what skills you had to learn, like audio. I went one with when I learned about the audio filters, my mind was just I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it, like how good it can make you sound just with the OBS filters.
Yep. Noise gates and suppression and compression.
Yeah.
All very important things to learn. Because it sucks when you go to a stream and they seem like a really entertaining personality or something, but something about their audio might just send you off because it's like, I don't want to listen to your computer fan, which is like on par with your voice level for the next however long that I'm here. I just like, I appreciate somebody who puts a little bit of time and effort into having a good sounding stream.
Definitely. Like,
And it doesn't take much either. Like most of those filters, you just click them on and they're ready to go. Like you don't have to adjust them a whole lot.
yeah.
But it is very helpful to be able to cancel out that white noise in the background.
Yeah, definitely. What do you feel has been the most rewarding moment for you?
Oh gosh, the most rewarding.
Like, what do you feel rewarding from your stream?
Well, I like completing a game. I like the feeling of, we played through this whole game together on stream, and now it's complete. What's next? I just every time I beat a game, I look forward to what am I going to play next on stream? What's the next game for me? And I like that a lot of my community will come around regardless of the game I'm playing. Like, they don't really discriminate against like, oh, he's playing a shooter. Like, I don't want anything to do with this stream. It's like they'll just come and chill and like whatever I'm playing. It's almost like background noise. Like it doesn't even matter. So I think it's really rewarding to have a community that just likes to come and hang out. They don't care what I'm playing. For me, I care. I'm like, I want to play this game, or I want to do this, or this sounds fun, or this sounds like it'd be a good time to stream. They don't really care. They're just here to hang out. So I think that's really rewarding, is just knowing that you have good friends who just will come and hang out regardless of what you're doing. Like some people, I could be playing like Tetris and they would probably still come and hang out and be lewd or make stupid jokes or whatever. So I think that's probably the most rewarding thing, is just knowing that I'm supported regardless of what stupid game I'm playing.
Yeah. Like, personally,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me. I mean, personally, I follow streamers for the streamer, and I couldn't really care less what they stream.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to go in the backyard and kick a can, then they can do that.
Yeah. They want to stream them making peanut butter toast. Like, let's go.
It could actually be a fun stream.
I think I'm going to do that this year. I think I'm going to do a peanut butter toast stream.
Peanut butter toast stream.
Wait, let me make a note of that on my phone. Peanut butter toast stream 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You got 12 more months left, so
yeah. And we got a ways to go in 2021.
Yeah. You got a lot of peanut butter to make.
I'm going to stock up now. I'm going to go hit Costco.
So your community around your stream is very focused in on you as a streamer. They're there for you, and sometimes as a streamer you get like those super emotional moments. Have you had any time you got like?
I've had a few. Yeah, I've had good and bad ones for sure. More good than bad, but like, without going into any sort of detail, you kind of have to ride the roller coaster. Like, you're gonna have good times on stream, and you're gonna have bad times, and you're gonna remember them both equally.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about the good emotional kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been a part of parts where there's like, oh, we have this streamer that is maybe not feeling too great for some reason, but they're still streaming. So we just get a few friends together and we're like bombarding his stream with bets just to make his day, kind of thing.
just to get a rise. Yeah, I feel like I've had a lot of moments where I'm just like, you guys are crazy. Like, why are you doing this to me? Like, people gifting subs, like rating bits, and I'm like, what is wrong with you people? And yes, it does make a difference to have like just unyielding support all of a sudden. It will flip your day around for sure. You don't expect it sometimes too. Like just out of nowhere, someone's like, here's 25 gift subs, and you're just like, okay, like I was having a pretty mediocre day, but you know, like thanks very much. You turned it all around. Thank you very much. But it is a roller coaster too. There are going to be lows. There are going to be times where nobody chats for an hour at a time, and
Yeah.
it might just be you and your bot hanging out, and you know, you might have, you know, it might say you have viewers, but you're going to feel those lows. You're going to be like, wow, like is there something off with me today? Am I not entertaining today? Is my gameplay terrible? What, you know, you're going to be filled with doubt with those lows, and you're going to be filled with gratefulness when you're riding those highs. So definitely allow yourself to ride with that roller coaster, because when things are good, they're great, and when things are bad, they're bad. And you know, how you interpret those things and how you reflect on them is kind of what's important. You can't really get beat down by feeling like, oh shit, I had a terrible stream, I was in a bad mood, I was really snippy with viewers, like I just feel like shit. And you know, you're gonna feel like shit, but then you're gonna have a stream, you know, a couple days later where you get like 4 or 5 raids, and everybody's having a blast, and everybody's feeding off each other's energies. So it's just like life itself. Like you're gonna have ups and downs, and just stick with it, and hopefully eventually, you know, you can look back and say, you know, at least I felt, you know, a lot of different emotions. You know, at least it wasn't just like, at least it wasn't boring. You know, at least I had some memories.
Yeah, because you
Uh,
will get a lot of emotions from him because
oh yeah,
it's other people.
yeah, yeah. I've had some tough experiences where I've had to make some really hard decisions. I usually try to, if things are tough, sometimes I might even take a break from streaming. Like I've done that many times. I think December was this past December last month was one of the months I can remember in the last 3 years where I took the most time away from streaming based on how I was feeling and what I was going through with work and stuff. Like I took the time I needed to make sure that my mental health stayed in check. And that's huge. Like you can't
Yeah.
rely on the highs of streaming to determine your happiness. Sure, they're there, but you know, you have to make sure that you're doing what you need to stay in check. Because if you're feeling like shit, if you're having a bad week, if you're overtired, if something's bothering you, it's really difficult to stream.
Yeah.
You don't want to force yourself to go on the camera, and people will understand if you need to take time away. And so just make sure, sounds more like I'm giving other people advice, but just make sure you're, you know, you're focusing on yourself, and not letting streaming feel like it's gonna hurt you. You don't want to like take streaming too personally. So
Yeah, I feel like that's a good thing to do. Like, if you're not feeling 100%, maybe take a day or two off from streaming, and like do let your community know on Discord or Twitter or wherever, and I will
yeah,
say like 99% of the time you will get full support on that.
yeah,
Maybe there's one dickhead, but then you'll weed out that dickhead. That
yeah.
maybe.
And you say, hey, there's like 50 other people streaming right now. Just go watch them. Like it's
Yeah,
not a big deal if I'm not live, you know, tonight or tomorrow or the next day, because there's, you know, when I'm live again, and
there's tons of
it'll be fun
entertainment
because I'll
on
be,
Twitch.
yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to make a streamer feel like they have to stream. Like you should never, like if a streamer says, hey, got to take a few days off, not feeling very well, the last thing you want to do is be like, well, screw you, I'm never watching you again. You need mental health days? Pff, what's that?
Yeah,
You got to be supportive of that, because
there's a reason why they're taking a break.
yeah, it's an entertainment industry. Like you wouldn't expect, um, you know, let me think of a good comedian. Jim Carrey. You wouldn't expect Jim Carrey to be like working 12-hour days, 7 days a week for his entire career, because he probably would have burned out a long time ago and wouldn't have been making as good of movies. Like, you got to be, you got to find a balance.
Yeah, and I want Jim Carrey to keep doing what he does. So
Mm.
if you need mental health days, you take those mental health days.
We'll wait for you, Jimmy. We'll wait for you.
Oh yeah, I think most people will.
I personally love Jim Carrey. I think he's a comical genius.
Oh yeah, he's really cool. I watched his shows. He had some shows from his stand-up days, which are
Oh
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
They're
His
so
stand-up
fun.
was. I wish he did more of that still, but I guess movies took priority in his career. But his stand-up back in the day was pretty hilarious.
I would think movies pay better.
There's like one clip of him, and it's like, "Do you guys like impressions?" And the audience is like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Here's my impression of a Saint Bernard or something," and he just like pours mouth in his water, or pours water in his mouth, and he just barks, and all the water comes out, and he's like, "That's my impression."
And it
Just
was
this,
amazing. I've seen
I
that
just
clip.
like, I just like that bit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like streamers are very much entertainers, kind of like Jim Carrey is. I mean, I wouldn't put myself on the level as Jim Carrey. That would just be sad.
No, yeah, you
Um,
can't compare yourself to
no,
Jim Carrey. You can just like, as an equating to an entertainer, you can say like, no, we're not all Jim Carrey. We're not all the greatest at what we do, but at the same regard, like, we're not even necessarily comedians either. Like, a lot of people just stream to just be chill and hang out with people. So you just have to, you're doing some form of entertainment.
yeah, and I think a lot, like most of the people, don't come from a comedic background. They maybe are just funny with their friends or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Hey, I might try streaming." And like me, I'm not a comedic genius or any sort of funny man at all, or even well versed on camera or audio technicalities or anything like that. But I enjoy the company of streaming, and
Yeah. So you don't necessarily like, yeah, you don't have to be entertaining. You can, you can just hang out and you can just play games and just enjoy good gameplay and good conversation. And that, that is a form of entertainment on Twitch, and that is perfectly acceptable.
yeah, and it's a huge tip that you will get. Like you will get it all the time, and I've been like going all around, like from I started streaming, and you go around on YouTube and stuff like that, and you will see like, here's tips to how to start streaming, how to get better at streaming, how to do streaming, how to, and all, like most of them will, of course they will say like have a schedule and kind of like that to build your community and uh, be recognizable. But um they all say that like you need to keep talking because dead air is boring.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something you had to learn, like just keep talking even though nobody's there?
Yeah, I got a lot of practice with that when I first started using a microphone, and I didn't really have any viewership at all. It was great practice for me to try and fill that dead air just by commenting on what's going on. Um, so it kind of became more of a fallback thing than a focus thing. It was like, the more and more I started to have viewership, the less I had to fill that dead air with nonsense, like being like trying to like just keep my chat going with nobody to talk to. It was like, okay, now I'm reading chat and now I'm responding to it rather than having to focus on filling dead air. So it will shift eventually. Those guides, saying dead air is a bad thing. Sure, that is absolutely correct. Like, you don't want to just sit there playing your game saying nothing. because even that 5 seconds there, that was awkward. It was like,
Yeah.
oh man, like he's just sitting there. He's not even talking. So yeah, there's something to be said about filling dead air and practicing that as a fallback, because before you know it, after you start getting viewership, you're not going to have time to fill that dead air anymore because you're going to be too busy reading chat, too busy responding to people, and too busy trying to have conversation. So what you should do is you should, when you're starting streaming, definitely fill dead air by practicing your commentary, because that's going to become a fallback for those quiet moments on your stream. So you're developing your content is what you're doing. So stream to your mobile phone, stream to your one viewer, which is you on your mobile phone, and chat like you would as if somebody was watching, because eventually somebody will be watching. And they might not chat all the time, but they'll be watching, and you can still have that practiced skill of filling dead air. And I don't think that's a bad thing. But you don't necessarily want to just talk for the sake of talking either. You want to try and have it be natural. Like, it's okay to have quiet moments on stream. Like, it's not a bad thing to be focused on whatever's happening, as long as the gameplay presents itself. But if there's nothing going on in the game that's really too exciting, like, you can make it exciting. You can find a way to chat about, like, one thing I like to do is just look at random shit. Like, if I'm walking through like a hallway in a game and there happens to be a poster on the wall of something, I'll just comment on the poster, even if it's stupid. It's just like, I'm just observing something and commenting on it. Like, it's pretty easy to find ways to fill the dead air, but it's also about gaining that comfort level of talking to yourself, essentially, because it is not an easy skill to understand in the beginning. I watch a lot of streamers who struggle with that, which is just trying to fill that dead air.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, people are watching and they might be lurking, but I don't recommend like trying to like force people to engage. Like, a lot of times if somebody comes into my stream and they're like, yo, hey Sky, what's up? I'll be like, yo, what's up, dude? How's it going? And then I'll go back to commentary. I don't try to ask them like 10 questions and try to force them into my conversation. If they feel like chatting, they will. And
Yeah.
if you comment on stuff that's going on, they might comment as well. If you make an amazing play in a game and they happen to see it, they might comment on that. So just roll with it and just practice your talking to yourself, because it's definitely a skill.
Yeah, I feel like what's helped my um my talking a lot is to try to explain what I'm thinking, like my thought methods in a certain scenario, like uh I want to be here because of this, or I want to do this because this happened earlier.
I
Something like
need
that.
this, or we've been here, and here. I'd like to figure out a way to go here. Yeah, you can totally use that. That's a prime example. Is, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Like
Because
your
if
thought
you're just doing
process.
this, nobody knows what you're thinking. You could be thinking about peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah.
No one's gonna no one's gonna be able to read what's going on up there. Like, why is he going around in circles around this one hallway? Is he lost? Like,
Yeah, nobody knows like what you're thinking unless you actually tell people what you're thinking.
mm-hmm. So yeah, you're right, Jay. The best thing to do is just think out loud.
Yeah. I've had a lot of problems like getting from that point where I'm gaming by myself and talking. Like gaming by myself and then to the point of talking. Is what I mean. Um
Mm-hmm.
so what I would do, I would kind of cheat it a bit. I would invite people like friends to play with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um so that I would talk with them.
That's pretty common.
Because then
Yeah,
then
that's
you're having a conversation with your friend and you're talking about the game and what to do, and you're actually having a natural conversation that you would um, without actually forcing yourself to
mm-hmm.
do something that's unnatural to you.
I'd say that, yeah, to fight the unnaturalness of it, that's a great thing to do. If natural commentary comes easier to you, like if it's easier for you to just fill dead air with good commentary, then go for that. But if you do
Yeah.
find it's more comfortable for you to have a friend in chat, even if you're playing a single player game, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. But your focus should still be on your chat when you're streaming.
Oh yeah.
I've experienced a lot of streams that I'll go into where their focus is on the conversation that's happening between the two of them in Discord, whether it's single player or multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
And their chat is like it becomes a secondary thing where they might respond to one or two messages here and there, but they're still mostly focused on their conversation with their friend. And
Yeah.
not everyone is there to listen to you talk to your friend. A lot of people are there to either talk to you or engage with other people in chat and kind of feel like the streamer is kind of at the head of the table and everyone else is there enjoying their dinner as well and engaging in conversation, whether it be with each other or with the person at the head of the table.
Yeah.
So you don't want to hinder your stream either by taking your focus away from chat, because otherwise why stream at all, right? There's a balance you have to create where the commentary with your friend and on your, like, you might be in Discord with 5 or 6 other people, so you need to set up a way to be able to disengage from that and focus on your chat if you need to, because no one wants to feel like a third wheel. And if you go into a stream and the streamer doesn't make you feel welcome because they're too busy gaming with their friends, you're most likely not to stick around for too long, because it's like, all right, well, hope you guys have fun together, like.
Well, you're busy. I'll see you another time.
Yeah.
And I get that, and I think a lot of the reason why that might be seen in smaller streamers is because they see bigger streamers do that.
Yeah.
Because they can't possibly catch up with their chat that's flying at like 1,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, we've all seen a chat that's just nothing but pog champs and kappas. Like,
yeah, like
that's
for me,
impossible to keep up with.
Yeah, like for me, I have the amount of interaction that I can, and I want to answer every single one that's in the chat, and I want to hear how their day is and how they're actually doing, because I want to make sure that my viewers are having a good day and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. You can chat with your friends on your stream all day, every day, as long as you're still attentive to the people who are coming to hang out in your stream.
Yeah, and bring your friends into this conversation in the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you get asked like by your stream, like how are you doing, make that come to your friend as well. Like, hey, the chat is asking you how you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you can involve the person. Like, I love when I'm when I'm playing a game with some friends on stream and they're also attentive to the chat, because it makes it feel like everybody's involved. And that's another piece of advice I could say is, like, if you're going to play a game with some friends on stream, you can be choosy with who you play with, because you want personalities that aren't going to drive people away, and they're going to maybe perhaps try to be entertaining for your stream as well. So it's without casting anybody aside, you want to make sure that whoever you're chatting with on stream is also stream appropriate. Like, you don't want anybody who's angry or salty or swearing or cussing or mismatches your personality. So sometimes when you're streaming, you should be choosy about who you have as a guest, so to speak, because it could hurt your channel in the long run. And it has in the past. It's a hard lesson that I've learned. Like, one thing I have now is I won't play with somebody who I've never played with before on stream.
Yeah.
Just because of some past experiences. I have to make sure I have a sense of who they are before I will have them come play with me on stream, because I don't want them, like, I've had some people say some bad words, put it this way.
Yeah.
And that was like it was like, oh man, this is really awkward for me as a streamer now, because I trusted this person, and this reflects on me and my channel. So I made a rule for myself. It was, unless I've played with somebody before, I have to say no. And I'm really kind about it too. I've got a way that I've rehearsed it, so that if somebody does ask if they can come play with me, I'll say, hey, why don't you add me on Steam? We'll play a few games together off stream, so I can get a sense of who you are before we play on stream together. And most people are totally cool and understanding with that. Like, It's
Yeah.
totally valid. It's your channel. You make the rules. If someone comes in and they want to play with you, you can kindly say, hey, I'd love to have you on stream, but let's play some games together off stream. And then once I get a feel for things, then we can play together on stream. Most people will understand that. So you set
Yeah.
the ground rules and you set the vibe for your channel. And that's based on, if you're doing multiplayer games, that is going to be based entirely on who you bring to play with you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because you will, as a streamer, you will have a lot of people that come in and they will be asking, "Can I come play with you?" And I would love to be able to answer 100% of the time, yes. But you can't do that because maybe the person is not streamer friendly in some sort of way. Um, Maybe their energy doesn't really uh, match with yours, or maybe
Maybe
um,
they oversharing is a big thing. Like they might talk about something that's just makes everybody uncomfortable.
yeah,
Uh,
um, or maybe they have too much background sound. That can also be a factor.
yeah, just mic etiquette in general. Like you have someone come on and maybe they're constantly like like just making all sorts of noise in your microphone, and it's gonna be like awkward for you as a streamer too, because every time you try to chat, you're gonna hear this person like shuffling their mic around, like it's like they're doing a 360 with their headset every 5 minutes. Like, hang on, man, just hang on, I'm just my headset's like, and they're just like rubbing in their microphone. Like, you don't want to have to deal with that on stream.
Yeah, and people. A personal thing of mine is when people eat chips.
Oh yeah, eating, yeah. Even
Like,
with Discord's built-in filters, it
yeah,
still gets me. It's still like, oh man, stop
it,
eating.
yeah, like
Mute your microphone. Mute it.
it's proper etiquette. You have a mute button. Just mute your microphone while you're eating. And it's
Just be
fine.
like, explain like, hey, I'm eating, so I'm going to be kind of muted, or I'm on push to talk or whatever.
Yeah, like you can even say, "Hey, I'm eating. I'm
Yeah.
going for a second. That's fine."
Yeah. Take a 5-minute break. I'll hang out and chat with people while you go eat. That's fine. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
doesn't matter to anyone. But like those kind of things, um, can be aggravating to you as a streamer because you can't really focus on your stream. And I think a lot that the chat can sense that, and you're kind of extending your vibes towards your chat. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually why I primarily stream single player too. Is just because it's just so much easier to engage with people and have a relaxed, comfortable, chill vibe, which is what I want from my stream. It's what you want for your stream too. If you want like, chaos and yada yada, that's fine too. But for
yeah,
me, I want a chill, comfy, laid back vibe. So for me, playing a single player game, it allows for easy engagement. I can pause the game and sit there at any time. I don't feel like there's a clock running. Like when I'm playing a multiplayer game, there's a lot more pressure to perform and do well
mm-hmm.
and make sure you're giving good call outs and listening to your teammates, as
Yeah,
well as like I think it's a lot harder to stream multiplayer games successfully.
yes.
Um,
A lot of the games where you have lobbies and downtime between the games because you have um you are in the lobby and you have dead time basically.
yep.
But you can catch up with chat and you can talk with people and you can share memes or music or whatever you want to do, or watch a YouTube video. That works for some people too.
Play some music
Yeah,
or have some music on in the background. That's usually what I do. Is I just have music going in between games. It helps kind of kill the dead air of lobbies.
yeah, but you kind of gotta fill that lobby because the dead air of the lobby, because you when you get into the game it's action 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 action, and then you get into nothing.
Yeah.
So you kind
And
of gotta fill it.
if if people are there to watch whatever multiplayer game it is you're playing, whether it's like Overwatch or Apex Legends or whatever, they understand that when you get into a fight in that game, focus is on the game. They'll get it. It's just like fighting a boss in Dark Souls, or trying to accomplish some hard platforming in Mario Maker. They understand that, okay, at this moment the streamer is focused on the game, and so nobody will get mad at you for focusing on the game for a few minutes when you need to. So you learn that balance when you're streaming multiplayer games too, is you learn to be like, okay, sorry guys, I'll catch up with you in a moment. Gotta kill these dudes. Please hang in there. And if they leave, that's up to them. You just got to learn to accept that. It's the same thing with streaming single player games. Like, you're gonna experience times in which it's like, I got to focus on the game for a sec. But luckily, I have a pause button, so let's go.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to do. Like, just you can focus on you focus on your stream, and then at points you might need to focus on the game because things are going down. And
you don't want to necessarily give bad gameplay. Like, you're not gonna do terrible at the game just because you're trying to juggle your chat too much. So you have to achieve a balance regardless of that. And streaming is all multitasking, so you're gonna find times that are like, it's very difficult to like manage all of that. But for some people, it's funny to watch a streamer like fumble trying to balance all those things. Like, maybe that's a form of entertainment, is like watching the strummer try to keep up with chat whilst also fighting an insane boss, while there's all sorts of sound effects and alerts happening and people are dropping sub bombs. Like, it's funny to watch the chaos unfold.
Yeah, it's like, oh, do damage to the boss, thank you for the bits, thank you for the pits, thank you for damn it.
That's what I like. I like to see an overwhelmed streamer. It's that for me means they're having a good stream.
Yeah. And that streamer too, we'll say later that stream was awesome. They had fun.
Yeah.
100% of the time, I think. Maybe I don't have the statistics for it.
You will someday, Jay.
Oh yeah. With work and streaming and community management, what do you feel like is a good length of a stream? Like, what do you feel is the length of stream you should keep to?
For me personally, or for anybody?
For anybody, really.
Well, for me, okay, I'll just answer both.
Yeah.
For me, on a work night, if I'm working an 8.5-hour day, I find that 3 hours is the perfect amount of time. With time zones in mind, time zones are something that really comes into play on Twitch. 3 hours is a decent amount of time to be able to catch people. And if I have more time or I have more energy, I might go longer. And on a day off or something, like, I might stream 5 to 6 hours. I feel like is a good balance. I feel like anything over 6 hours, you might be looking towards burnout, but it just depends on your personality and your energy levels. I think for some people, streaming 16 hours a day is reasonable. Like, I don't know how they do it, but mind you, everybody's situation is different and everybody's personality type is different. Some people can keep that energy going for 10 to 12 hours and it's no problem for them. Like, just another stream, 12 hours in the bag. but I think for my personal enjoyment, I like about 3 hours is like an ideal time to stream on a work night, and maybe 5 to 6 on a day off. But I do on occasion, like, I'll just randomly do a 12-hour stream and be like, yep, today is a 12-hour stream day. I got energy, I got time. Let's go for it. So just kind of see how you're feeling. Like, just stream how you feel is enough for you. Some people, an hour and a half is enough. Yeah. They just want to hop on and hop off and go back to whatever it is they need to do.
Like, do you pre-plan your length of your streams?
Well, I usually try to say like 7 at night until 10 in the evening, because then it gives me time to eat dinner and get set up before I stream. Maybe drop in on a few channels and say hey.
Yeah.
And then I find it gives me enough time in the evening to unwind and be able to go to sleep properly, because I find it very difficult to go from stream to sleep. I can't just like, all right, stream's over. Like, I need a couple hours to like to chillax and maybe have a snack or something or watch something. I don't feel like it's an easy gear switch for me. Maybe others it works fine, but I definitely need some time before I go to sleep.
You need wind down time, I feel. Like
Hmm.
you need some time to wind down, kind of like after work.
After work or playing sports or
Yeah.
any real activity that requires energy, like it's pretty difficult to be high energy on stream and have a good time, and then go directly to sleep after. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
good idea to like try and stretch your stream up until the last few minutes that you have to go to sleep. But if you are the type of person that can go to sleep right after a stream, like all the power to you.
Yeah.
Just do what caters to what you need for yourself, because there's no real right answer to how long a perfect stream time is.
No.
Everyone's situation is different. If I didn't work 40 hours a week, I would probably say maybe 6 to 8 hours a day would be reasonable. If I was streaming just full time, I would do 5 to 6 days a week, maybe 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
So it depends on your situation.
So, what are your thoughts on 24-hour streams?
I've done one. I did one time. That was we had a goal and we met the goal, and once we hit the goal, it was like, okay, 24-hour streams happening. No regrets. It was a lot of fun. Um, there was actually a period of time during the stream towards the end where I don't even remember it. I think I had just blacked it out or something, like, because I remember going back through the VOD and being like, wait, I don't remember any of this conversation. I don't remember playing this part of this game. Like, I don't remember this happening. So it's a major energy thing. You need to make sure you're hydrated the whole time. You need make sure you eat properly and maintain your blood sugar levels, because 24 hours is a long time. There's a rare times, even just on a day to day, where anybody's awake for 24 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do a 24-hour, just set yourself up well for it. If you work full time, maybe book some time off work. Give yourself amount of rest, because you're going to need twice as much rest as you think you are. I was a zombie for a week after doing a 24. 12-hour streams aren't as bad. If you have the next day off and you can just sleep, then it's all good. 12 hours not so bad, but anything over 12, I think you need to just set yourself up well and just be prepared mentally, because it's a long time. And take breaks. Take like a break every hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever you need to do. Go stretch your legs. Go drink some water. Use the washroom when you need to. Just if you're gonna do a 24-hour, you don't have to sit there the whole time. You can take a 20-minute break during a 24-hour stream to make yourself some good food and eat. Like, no one's gonna be like, "Damn, how dare this streamer eat on my time during his 24-hour stream? Like, how dare you?" Like,
Yeah, you can bet
just
your ass that viewer hasn't been there for the last 20 hours.
oh yeah, yeah. You need a
Like
good chair, by the way.
they came in for half an hour ago and have just catch the last part, and they just woke up. So
yeah, I did one 24-hour. I would like to do another one this year. I think I'll probably do one this year again, just because I don't know. I think it'll be easier this time around, because I psyched myself a lot up for the first one. I like thought about it and planned, and I was like, this needs to be done this way, and I have to have all these games planned out. So as far as should you do a 24-hour or not, I don't know. If you have a good reason to do it, but I don't think it's like something that's necessary for any sort of gain. Set a goal for it if you want to do it. Plan it out properly, but don't just do a 24-hour without good reason, because it is hard on yourself for no reason. Like, I have a friend who does 24 hours once a month, and he does it for charity, and I get that, but damn, dude, it looks so rough. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that.
That's a huge mental drain.
Mm-hmm. And he does it once a month. It's kind of insane that he has the like, he also works full time, so I don't know how he does it. It's mind blowing to me that he has the time and the energy to put into that, because I just don't think I could do that. Like,
yeah, like hats off to him, man. That's
yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, because of my situation, I can't do 24-hour streams because I'm not fully there. So um, that is a that would just um degrade my mental agility the rest of the year probably. So um,
Yeah, you gotta be careful with it. It is
yeah, like make sure you are healthy and that you can actually withstand it. And
mhm.
um, if you feel like during a 24-hour stream that you just need to shut it off because it's too much, then do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's another thing too. You don't like I committed to the 24-hour. I was like, okay, I'm gonna book the day before off
yeah.
and 2 days after. I was set up for it. I prepared for it. But if you're trying to do it and maybe you got a bad sleep the night before, which is that's gonna make it really rough,
Mm-hmm.
then just pull the plug on it and say, sorry guys, I tried, we attempted it. It's not gonna happen. I appreciate you guys being here for 17 hours. Like we're gonna have to shut her down.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid that you didn't make it through the 24 because it is hard. It's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah. And I think 12 hours is a very doable thing because it doesn't um necessarily um drain too much of you.
Hmm.
Whereas 24-hour streams has been medically proven to actually affect people badly. If you do it enough times, of course.
Yeah,
So I really
yeah.
hope
And
your
I've
friend
I've
is
done
being careful.
Yeah, no, I think he's okay. I check his vitals regularly. I drop in on a stream.
That's good. Check
He's
his
just a
breathing.
beast. Yeah, check the pulse.
Yeah. All right. So last question: is there anything and like any sort of tips that you would give to a streamer that wants to start out fresh, like a fresh new streamer that doesn't have anything set up? Like, what would you
Just
advise them to
just
do or
like
not do?
very first stream or very first time getting into streaming, I'd say um, just be prepared to stream to nobody for a while because that's reality. Um, have fun. Make sure you double check that your mic's not muted. Make sure you're on the right OBS scene or whatever, and don't overthink it because you're realistically just play your favorite game or play something you've always wanted to play or hang out with your friends on Discord and play because yeah, it's not easy to get any sort of notice on Twitch, and eventually you're gonna find that you got one or two people who are coming to every stream, and you know be really really thankful for the people that do spend their time with you because uh, there's a lot of things to do on the internet and they chose to hang out in your channel, so just
Right.
learn to be thankful in advance because that'll thankfulness will take you you know far in streaming as far as like maintaining a respectful relationship with your community, your viewers, and your friends.
So where can people find you on the internet?
I would guess twitch.tv/sky was the limit. That's Sky with an E. Other than that, I mean, I have Twitter, I have YouTube, all by the same handle. And if I'm not streaming, I'm either working or playing games, probably. So yeah, if you ever want to come by my channel, feel free. We have a pretty damn good community, so you'll be welcomed with open arms.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining. I will pop those links down in the description, and those who want to should definitely check out Skyewasthelimit.
Thank you, Jay. I had a good time, dude.